What's on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I often cover stories of, well, a lot of people getting banned or suspended, and YouTuber Tyler Olivera, wildly popular, nearly 10 million YouTube subscribers, who basically covers a lot of things. And whether it's Minneapolis's Somali invasion, or it's the India Cow Festival, or Canada's Indian invasion, a lot of his content is perhaps, I don't know, provocative, but I haven't seen the guy ever lie about anything. And I enjoy his content. And most of it does an excellent job at revealing insane levels of fraud. And in exchange for this, again, this guy has talked about every country and every community on earth. And after releasing a documentary on a large amount of fraud tied to a Jewish community, he has now been banned off Patreon, which is how he funds himself, as well as, I'm sure, YouTube will be coming next. And again, you guys know me, I'm not that guy when it comes to certain communities, but it's hard to beat the allegations when this is the reaction to fraud. And this is a crazy story. Let's get into it. It's probably a good time to mention Rumble Wallet, by the way. You may have seen the conversations happening online like now. Censorship is back and it's happening everywhere. Platforms are controlling narratives and pushing the stuff they want us to see. We need to fight back. Rumble's the only company that has stood the test of time and deserves our support. On one side, Rumble's challenging big tech censorship, but now on the other side, they've introduced something that will give us protection from the big banks ever shutting us off, or like Patreon. Banks can cancel our accounts, freeze our cards, so that's why Rumble launched Rumble Wallet, a wallet that no one can cancel, and a wallet that creators can use supporters can use to instantly tip creators like myself without any middlemen taking cuts. With Rumble Wallet, you control your money, not a bank, not a government, not tech company, not even Rumble can touch it. It's yours and yours alone, yours to protect your future and family. You can buy and save digital assets like Bitcoin and Tether Gold in one place. Tether Gold is real gold on the blockchain with ownership of real physical bars. It's not just a wallet to buy and save, but also allows you to support your favorite creators, tipping them with this click of a single button. No fees when you tip my channel or others, and creators don't have to wait for payouts. Support my show and other creators by clicking the tip button or just heading on over to wallet.rumble.com or search Rumble Wallet in the app stores. Now, here's Tyler Olivera's channel. We can look at a wide variety of videos that he's done. I exposed New Jersey's Jewish invasion, inside Canada's Indian invasion, inside New York's town invaded by welfare-addicted Jewish people. I exposed scammers in Tokyo, the most evil cult in America, Scientology, Minneapolis's Somali invasion, the murder capital of America. I mean, I hunted pickpockets in Venice. This guy is not a guy that you could ever really accuse of quote unquote targeting Jewish people. And after releasing his latest documentary, his Patreon got nuked. Now, as somebody who has been banned by Patreon, I got banned from Patreon for exposing predators, legally charged predators in the Magic the Gathering community. And so Patreon nuked me and said I was doxing people. Apparently, chomos get more credit than regular people. But he posted his Patreon page had been removed. And people say you investigated fraud and misconduct for all different age groups and countries. But after you investigated one particular group, they censor you. All this is going to do is fuel, the accusations. This is the superintendent of Kiryas Yoel School District. I wonder why he didn't want me making a video about his community. A tiny Hasidic district won't explain how it's spending $94 million in relief funds. And this individual creator who goes by Awesome Jew, I'm against cancel culture, but the irony is wild. He posted a hit piece claiming Jews are addicted to welfare, then complains that he cannot beg for cash online. Time to get a real job. Again, are you against welfare fraud happening in these Jewish communities, or do you think Tyler just fabricated everything due to anti-Semitism? Again, why did Patreon ban him? He says selling paywalled videos and DLC content I don't upload on YouTube is definitely a one-to-one comparison of using American tax dollars to support your 10 kids. I kept the focus on the demographic shift, political power consolidation, and Goyam gyms getting shut down. You want a fraud documentary, you don't want this smoke. And what's very, very odd is, again, like I've said, this is not a guy whose entire life is, about one particular community. This is a guy that exposes all sorts of things. So the idea that he's targeting a particular community is insane. So here's just a small clip.
Why don't you move to a different country?
Why don't you go back to Israel? That would be my question.
You're trying to twist it to make it look like we're doing fraud.
What have I said that's anti-Semitic? You use that as a weapon. This is Lakewood, New Jersey, home to one of the largest and fastest growing Orthodox Jewish communities in America, having anywhere from 6 to 10 kids per family, causing the community's rapid...
Right, good. 6 to 10 kids per family. It's above replacement rate. Proud of that.
Growth to spill into the neighboring towns of Jackson, Toms River, Brick, and Howell, causing non-Jewish residents to fear that their town will soon be turned into Little Jerusalem, just like Lakewood.
That anti-Semitism is lucrative, no?
Why do you think anything that you don't like to see is anti-Semitism? Nothing about this is anti-Semitic. I've done this with many groups.
You're trying to make it sound as like anyone who accepts government money in the Jewish community is doing fraud.
That's your interpretation. Yeah, you guys have group chats of me. Beware of this guy like I'm like Hitler or something.
You're arguing with the United States, so why don't you move to a different country?
Why don't you go back to Israel? That would be my question.
Because I like it here.
Same here.
Fraud in every
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Again, this is no different. Here's another
Where
clip.
was majority private school owners, mainly Jewish white men, and most of our school was not Jewish, and they
Here's a guy there to harass him, I'm assuming.
had control over our public school system over like the past 10 years, purposely voting no on our school budget vote so that way we would fail, and we lost about 3-2 schools.
Basically, through block voting, Orthodox Jews won enough seats to control the East Ramapo School Board and went on to eliminate hundreds of public school positions like teachers and social.
This is in 2009, the board began gutting the public school system. The report states that between 2009 and 2014, the board fired over 450 staff, including 160 teachers, 3 guidance counselors, and all social workers. It cut budgets for athletic and extracurricular activities as well in half.
Social workers, while approving millions of taxpayer dollars to be spent on their children's religious private schools.
Okay, so let's go back to that. But as public schools suffered, funding for the private yeshivas, I don't know what that is, went up between 2010 and 2014. Spending for private school buses increased from 22 million to 27 million. The school board also increased funding for special education in private schools by 33%, while laying off 15 special ed teachers in public schools, according to the New York NYSED report.
Religious private schools, ultimately gutting the public school system for the estimated 9,000 black and brown public school students, while diverting that money to their private religious schools.
They give us food that's rotten and it's cold, and it hurts our stomach.
I ask you, do not take our music program away. I love playing an instrument. My brother would be crushed.
And the budget cuts were so devastating that in one instance, an elementary school shut down, and the majority Jewish school board then voted to sell it to a Jewish yeshiva for pennies on the dollar. Basically, the poorest, most vulnerable kids in these communities had their schools gutted and looted, all by a majority Jewish school board whose kids didn't even attend public school.
We believe that some of the decisions that have been made by the board have not been in the best interest of the public school community.
You don't like it, find yourself another place to live.
Again, I'm not seeing, when I'm watching this, I'm not seeing, oh, this is a Jewish thing. I'm seeing this is a corruption thing. And again, you guys know you watch this channel. I'm not that guy. I'm not a quote unquote noticer. I think that corruption, again, just like Tyler Olivera's channel covers Indians and white people and different religions, whether it's Muslim or Scientology. Yet when this community gets covered, he gets debanked. I just think it's hard to beat the allegations. And I know like my Jewish viewers will agree with that. Like you guys know I'm not like that guy, so to speak. And it is very odd to me that he covers this, his Patreon gets nuked.
It's your education.
My education, it was decent, but it definitely could have been better if we had the resources that we were allowed to have. But again, for the past 10, 15 years or so, people have been purposely voting no on our school budget vote, so that way we had no funding and money for our school. And, you know, that was done purposely.
And who was voting no?
Majority, the Jewish community. You, like, drive around here, you'll literally see signs saying vote no for our school budget, which I think is crazy. Luckily, we were able to get a ward system to be able to get 3 seats for, you know, the wars, but if it wasn't for that, we still would be majority white Jewish men voting for public school students that they don't care about. Yeah, and they purposely go out their way to isolate us. We're basically isolated to the point where we feel like this isn't our home.
A lot of people like to say they're ducking taxes and all that. There's truths and lies to that, but I could only tell you that I've only seen the bad part. The bad part is I've seen houses get broken down. I've seen certain spaces, buildings get destroyed for let's just say for more kosher customs.
I mean, again, Tyler Olivera, at no point have I seen him like targeting any one community over another. There's this.
This is
Lakewood's Little Jerusalem. What's the agenda?
What was the?
There was no agenda. I know what I'd even find.
But there was still an agenda in mind. There's a reason why you came down to Curious Joe, right?
Well, to investigate. This is, I mean, the reaction to this, the immune response to this is literally no different than when the Somalis were like, this is racism. Yeah, we stole billions of dollars, but racism. That's not how this stuff works. And, you know, Index Ventures, who owns Patreon? All allegedly. Index Ventures, Neil Rimmer, Jewish, Canadian, British. Danny Rimmer, Jewish, brother of Neil Rimmer. Thrive Capital, controlling interest, Joshua Kushner. I mean, again, I recommend he just set up his own site, you know?
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing?
It's just, it's not, it's very odd that you can look at this man's body of work and see that he has been everywhere. England is on the brink of civil war. Did white English people say racism? No. I investigated Murder City. I don't remember where that is, but, you know, fentanyl in the United States problem. Scammers in Rome. Scammers in Paris. Demon slaying, exorcisms, miracles, prophecies. All of this stuff he covers everything, and yet now he's been debanked. Banned from Patreon. I hope he sets up an alternative. And right now, PayPal is looking at buying Stripe or vice versa. That's going to make things even worse. I wish him the best of luck, and he should be restored immediately. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.